What's up, everybody? I wanted to come on tonight and do a shadow reading. I was prompted today, and honestly, there were multiple things coming up that made me almost want to like back out of doing this reading. But then I was like, you know what? No, I guess it really needs to be done if there's so much opposition in the air. So I decided I would go ahead and hang out with you guys for a little bit, get this reading posted, and kick back and enjoy my weekend. So I went ahead and sat down and I channeled some um, automatic writing messages for each pile. So I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to go ahead and tune in to the photos I've provided and see which pile speaks to you. So take a minute here and pick a picture, and I'll see you at your pile. What's up, pile one? Quite an interesting message I got for you guys. The first message was talking about energetic barriers, and they had me write barrier, boundary, an energetic boundary, and you can feel it. And they showed me like the space between two two different energies, like yin and yang, and then how there is a division in between. So like there's like a space and you can see it, hear it, smell it, feel it, but it's not there. So there's some kind of energetic barrier boundary they wanted to mention. And they said that it's like the middle, the gray area, the between yin and yang, the divide, and the evaluation period. So I don't know what significance that holds for anybody, but it was mentioned, so I thought I would mention it. Also, we had it's important to know not all shades and colors. Also, there's a storm happening outside. I don't know if you can hear that, but like I said, I thought it was literally the perfect time and nothing's going to stop me. So here we are. It's important to know not all shades and colors of life are bold. Some are subtle, not as clear, but they're still color. See colors for who they uniquely are. And then I heard that a properly developed shadow or worked with shadow is a usable weapon. And then they were showing me someone like getting really excited by music, kind of like, have you ever been just in the mood where you really need like a bolt of lightning, like a battery pack, a Red Bull, or like you feel the energy of music come into you and excite you, lightning, and just light you up. Like, there we go. Light you up, and just really get you moving, going, flowing, and remembering not even happy memories, but feeling joy, feeling happiness for the pure, raw, energetic state that's being created inside of you when you listen to a certain kind of music. That's what I got. And then they showed me the polar opposite of that. Somebody getting really angry and motivated and fueled by frustration or anger. Kind of like if you've ever had like a fitness coach or Gordon Ramsay, or like if you've ever been in the midst of working in a restaurant, like during, I don't know, Friday night, and shit hits the fan kind of thing, where you're forced into quick action or forced to learn, but it comes from a place of like frustration or rage. And so you achieve something that you didn't think you were going to be able to achieve purely because you were spoken to a specific way, and it like pumps you up just like the other side of things. It lights you up, it gets you moving. You say something like, you know what, I'm gonna prove you wrong, I'm gonna I'm gonna do this in spite of that, and being fueled on that type of energy. They wanted me to bring up both of these really for specific reasons. Your shadow wants you to be able to fluidly go back and forth between these range of emotions as necessary. And as you see it's necessary, like for your spell work, your delegation of your day-to-day tasks. This will help you expand your emotional intelligence, and they had me write your magical authority. So when you're able to tap into emotions from a specific place and utilize it in a specific manner, it makes you very, very powerful. Okay. Um, and as soon as I finished writing all this, something crazy happened where I started getting animals, and the first thing I wrote down was spider, and then axolotl. So it's Axolotl, and it's a type of salamander. They're like the cute ones, and they mentioned that there is meaning in that, so you may want to look up what the meaning of a spider is, what a meaning of an axolotl is. And then I looked over and out at my window as I was writing this, and I saw a fly get caught in a spider web. But it wasn't like just any fly because this fly I purposely shunned into my window because it has a screen on the outside and then the window, so there's a space in between. Oh, that's funny because I mentioned that space in between. There's a space in between the screen and the window where the fly couldn't get out, and I actually got a download that fly is a spirit. And I was like, oh, hell no. If you're just going to be taking up space in my house, I'm going to put you exactly in the space that I see fit. And I'm going to let my guides handle that because you're already trespassing. So I shut it in that in between space, and I saw it get caught, and this wasn't like back to back, okay? This was within like a couple hours, and I happened to be writing your message for you guys and looked out my window and saw the spider caught in a web. And I was like, oh, that's crazy because I know what that is. And then I saw the spider come out, and I was like, oh, I wrote spider. And I saw the spider continually wrapping this fly in more webbing. I'm trapping it. And then I heard one of my guides say that this is a representation of the shadow. So I'm just going to tell you guys straight up that you guys have some protective shadows. All right. Your shadow will, when it's properly exercised and has grown muscle, I'm hearing, it can definitely be used in a protective manner, so sometimes our shadows just act out because they don't know what their job is, and sometimes we just need to have a little sit down boss meeting with ourselves and this shadow aspect of ourselves face to face. And what I like to do is whenever I feel something that is like a shadow or a leftover trauma response of some kind, I will visualize me plucking it out of my head, and then I will have a face-to-face discussion with this aspect of myself. I'll visualize us in a boardroom where we sit down together, or a psychiatry room, and I will converse with this side of me, and I will act as the parent to myself, and I will tell it, hey, you don't have to do that anymore. Do you know that? You don't have to have this response anymore. My ear's ringing, because I am the parent, and I know that what happened over here that's making you act this way was wrong. We won't let that happen again, and this is how we're going to properly and correctly parent ourselves and watch our own backs. You know what I mean? If you don't, feel free to message me directly, and I can try to help you a little bit through that. But yeah, so that's what I got for you, pile one, as far as written messages goes. And what I did want to do is I wrote some customized shadow reading questions so we can have a custom spread here. And I'm going to first pull some cards. Okay, I didn't ask a question yet, so we're gonna pop that back in. It seems your shadow is eager to talk. Spirit guides, ancestors of the highest light, angels, archangels, higher selves, and helping spirits. Can you please help us pull a card to let us know what it is our shadow wants to say for pile one today? What do our shadows for pile one have to say today? What do they want to say today, spirit guides? Okay, so this is the Five of Pentacles in reverse. Recovery from loss, spiritual poverty, charity, improvement, karmic lesson, forgiveness, and positive change. Okay. We're going to pull another card here. What is my shadow repressing, spirit guides, ancestors, and the fire just went out. Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, higher selves. Can you let us know what the shadow is repressing? Lack of direction, delays, procrastination, creating conflict, poor communication, and instability. This is the Page of Wands in reverse. Okay. The creating conflict is sticking out real big to me. What does my shadow need me to know? Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, higher selves. Can you please give us a card for pile one? And what does my shadow need me to know for pile one? Oof. Okay, King of Pentacles in reverse. Greed, indulgence, materialistic, stubborn, obsessed with wealth and status, corruption, financially inept, and vices. Okay. So our shadow within itself is a spirit. Okay. It is its own thing within us, just like the light. Okay. So I decided it would be important to know, what is a deal breaker for our shadow? What can our shadow just not handle? You know, like what sets us off? What is a trigger or deal breaker for our shadow? Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels. What is a trigger or deal breaker for our shadow that we need to know? I'm feeling like a lot of energies around me, guys. And I think that it's really important to know when you are feeling overwhelmed that you have control, okay? That you're able to end the chaos at any time. It just takes a stern voice, a stern use of your willpower, and you have to mean it. What is our shadow's deal breaker, spirit guides? And this is the King of Swords in reverse, okay? Manipulation, controlling manipulation, mind games, misuse of power. Okay. So like justice vibes. My face is itching. Big justice vibes. Being weak. I think that this shadow side of you, how do I say this? Archangel Gabriel, can you help me with the words on this, please? Your shadow will not stand for the continued abuse of your inner child. It will not stand to hear corrections or critiques from people that do not take their own critiques. Your shadow will not stand to put yourself in situations any longer that may bring harm or damage, further damage to your inner child is what I'm getting. Okay. I understand. Thank you. What does my shadow need me to do to release the pressure? Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, can you help us understand and pull a card for what our shadow needs us to understand to release the pressure? What do we need to do or learn or understand? What is it that we need to release the pressure? I'm hearing Pressure by Paramore. Okay. So yeah, you need to make some difficult decisions here because your shadow is going, if you don't do it, they will. How does our shadow view us now? Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, can you please let us know how our shadow views us now? The Empress in reverse. Impatient, selfish, codependent, inaction, lack of focus, indecisive, overwhelmed, anxiety, and I'm hearing worried about infidelity. Okay. Next one, spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels. What is our shadow's surprise superpower? Spoiler, they do have them, all right? As much as people rag on shadow work and yada yada, there's no like ancient Chinese secret to shadow work, okay? When you meet your shadow, it's important to know that it does have a job, it does have power, and understanding its superpower will actually double your power because a yin without a yang is just a yin. Okay. What is our shadow's superpower for pile 1, spirit guides? Wow. So I'm definitely brought to the sudden insight and sudden changes that like I said, if you don't do it, your shadow will with the difficult decisions. I feel like your shadow definitely reaches into the difficult decision bag, and if you don't pick a marble, they'll do it for you type of energy, okay? So it's really important to hear respect and I'm hearing have reverence for your shadow, okay? Next question I had here was, what will help my shadow partner with my light better or easier? Spirit guides, angels, archangels, higher selves, what will help our shadows to partner with the light better? What's going to help that bridge between the dark and the light that you want us to have a flow between? Okay, so we've got the Two of Wands. And I'm not sure if that's like a little globe lightning just happened. But I'm hearing, I've got the whole world in my hands. I've got the whole world in my hands. So I feel like planning what will help my shadow partner with the light better. Planning, delegation, I'm hearing. Progress, making decisions, discovery, leaving home, travel plans, reaching your goals. And guess how that's happened? Guess how that happens? By planning, foresight, reconciliation. So take whatever resonates on that, okay? And I've got one more question here. What's been misunderstood about my shadow for pile 1? Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, can you please let us know what's been misunderstood about our shadow? Okay, it's not often I get flippers, but here we go. So, yeah, this is the 8 of Pentacles. There's 7, and then he's working on the 8th. Work-life balance is important to protect your creativity. And then we've got diligence, passion, hard work, high standards. Yeah, like I said, your shadow will not allow for mistreatment of your, I'm hearing, soft parts anymore. It's not going to happen. Because your shadow's like got the boots on, got a Glock in one hand, like it's not happening. And yeah, it's because of passion. It can be passion and anger, or passion and joy and love and expression. Okay? Mastery, apprenticeship, talents, skill development. Yeah, that's exactly what we talked about. Like, you need to develop this skill of understanding and traversing between the good parts of joy and the good parts of anger, and like controlling. I'm hearing like a wild Mustang, you know? It doesn't, it's not best controlled through force. They're best controlled through understanding. Yeah, that's, and side of this card, believe in your personal power. Yeah. And what did we say that your personal power was? Yeah, to bring sudden change. I'm hearing chaos magic, which that's a thing that I'm also going to be exploring eventually. And release. Yeah, release is sticking out to me as well on here. I feel like your shadow's ability to help with releasing whatever kind of karmic lesson and greed. They're saying you're going to have to battle this inner greed, but your shadow can do it. You just need to believe that the road less traveled has more to offer you than doing something the way everybody else does it. Okay, so I'm gonna pull some final messages. I want to use a couple different decks here. Okay. Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, can you let us know what's going to help us recover? What is going to help our shadows recover and grow? You're telling me to pull 5, so let me make some more room here. Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, higher selves, can you help us with some advice cards? Because shadows are not easy to work through. I'm seeing someone in my mind's eye holding a lantern, walking through a forest. And then they look up and see an owl. And then they decide to keep walking, and they don't realize that the owl is watching their back. I'm gonna keep pulling here. This is sticking out to me because of, I feel like maybe you've had a dream about walking through a forest or something like that recently. So I feel like what they're saying here is to recover from this karmic lesson and experience forgiveness, you need to experience your sadness. Okay? Experiencing your sadness is going to be the way that you get through this. And the more you tell yourself that the more you try to talk logic into your feelings, the more it's not going to work out. It's going to keep you confused, in a lack of direction, creating conflict within yourself. So they're saying just let your sadness be sadness and don't try to make sense of it. Just experience it for what it is, a range of emotions. And then we've got unleash your creativity. Yeah, I feel like for some reason I'm picking up that somebody is creative, but they've forgotten it because it's not in a traditional way. Sorry, guys, my dog needed attention. So, unleash your creativity. I do feel like you're turning to vices and being a little greedy with them, overindulging a little bit rather than turning to other outlets. And that is fueling some, I'm hearing resentment from the shadow. And then they're bringing me next to the difficult decisions, weighing your options and avoiding making difficult decisions. And then we've got say what you mean. Ooh. So I definitely feel like that's not just random. And then we've got creative block. The Empress in reverse with the lack of focus, being indecisive, overwhelmed, and worried about infidelity. And then we've got victim consciousness. Sometimes we get into a codependent manner of operating, and we operate from a little bit of a victim consciousness, like, well, I can't just do that because of what I've been through, what I've seen, how I grew up, how I was treated, yada yada. I can't public speak because of this. It's really important to realize, like we had mentioned, your inner power. Like, you are the tower, I'm hearing. Like, you can bring down mountains if you so choose. But you need to get out of this consciousness that says, hey, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we can't. Maybe... we can't do that because we have X, Y, and Z to take care of. What if you took the control? What if you took the reins? What if you decided to bring the tower down and make the situation work for you? That is the power that your shadow wants to expel and produce and gas you up with, okay? They want you to remember your dreams. They want you to remember that you had dreams. And they want you to remember to plan and act accordingly within those dreams and not based off of your reality right now. So what if it doesn't match up right now? So what if you don't have the money right now? So what if you don't have the space, the time, the energy right now? Just make a list. Start planning. Make some decisions of... that can even be, listen, that can be making a list like, hey, I'm just making this up, but what if I wanted to open a food truck that doesn't sell food but wants to sell baked goods or something like that? Know what I mean? So if that was the case, I would need to start a business plan and like make a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 things that would need to happen for that to happen. And then I'm going to look at each one of those obstacles and figure out what I need to do, how I need to strategically move in the next year or weeks or months to make that goal at least semi obtainable, giving the universe a little bit of wiggle room to throw in some extra spice, leaving some room for the tower, I'm hearing, you know? And that's a way that your shadow can be used to make it work for you. It doesn't have to be destructive and lashing out and causing chaos. You could be planning for chaos instead, but you can't plan for chaos when you don't want to look at the problem and make the difficult decisions and say what you mean. You've got to decide that you don't want to be freaking stuck anymore and that you want to control the chaos and you want to plan for the chaos and you want to ride that bucking bull out of that freaking pen like the owner you are of that bull. You're not going to let this bull run you anymore, Pile 1. You're the bull. Okay? I think that's beautiful. So to wrap this up, let's get a couple stickers from your shadow, because I like to have the shadow have fun too, okay? Let's see here. I had one extra fall out. Let me go back here and grab it. Wake me up when I'm famous. I feel like, yeah, you just want to sleep through this, but you're going to have to say what you actually mean. You're going to have to make the decisions that are hard. And when you come into acceptance of that and accept that you aren't stuck anymore and that actually you can grab the reins and you can be a bitch and it's fine. It's fine. She believed she could, so she did. I'll just leave that there. Fresh out. And then we've got, I cannot be responsible. Listen, I'm going to put that right there. That's probably one of the problems. Let down your walls for the one who looks at you as if you are the last remaining star. And that may be what you're dreaming of. And if so, Pile 1, you can manifest it. If you're trying to manifest a relationship for my singles out there, but even then, this could be friends. This could be family if you don't have family. This could be a job. You want to be the last, like, looked at like you are the last star in the sky. And they are so thankful for your existence, okay? Wine diva. Okay. I love being me. It pisses off all the right people. Also, I'm hearing with the wine diva that you may be a little worried about your drinking habits. And if so, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a professional in addiction or anything like that at this time. But I will say, I highly recommend looking up the story of the white and the black wolf, because you can't tame a shadow without feeding it sometimes. Okay? And that is not encouraging. If you've been sober or whatever, please don't listen to this. Okay? Don't listen to this part. Don't listen to this part that I'm talking about right now. But if you're a person that's kind of like wrestling that demon still, and you're like, I don't know if I should not drink or drink, I would say plan when you're releasing the chaos, so that way the chaos doesn't take you. Okay? worship coffee, the Dark Lord. So I feel like, okay, I asked and they said yes. So I feel like you may have some struggles with caffeine as well. And on the subject of caffeine, me too, sis, or bro, whatever. But I'll say that I really recommend the Four Sigmatic. It's like FOURSIGMATIC brand coffee. It's like half calf and it has ashwagandha and coffee. So it's really really helped me. You'll just need some kind of strainer for the grounds, and you need to let it steep for like a good 5 minutes. You're busy doubting yourself while some people are intimidated by your potential. Those were really good stickers, spirit guides. Oh, I forgot. I really wanted to use my shadow deck. So let me pull one card. Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels. What is the last piece of advice for pile 1? Death and the maiden. Invasion, boundaries violated, and dominance. So yeah, like I said, I really feel like your shadow, it has the ability, if you don't do it, it will. And I don't feel like it's coming from a place of maliciousness or acting out when it's not supposed to or anything like that. I feel like this is actually very entitled and correctly entitled. Okay? So your shadow is just doing its job, is what I'm hearing, and you need to respect its authority and listen to it, talk to it, work with it. You know, that could look at anything like asking yourself questions when you get upset, and I'm talking upset at any caliber. It could be upset at work, upset at the lady walking down the street next to you that you have no idea who she is. You need to ask yourself questions about any time you're feeling something. Okay? It means something. It's not just there to be there. Okay, pile 1? You can do it. And ask for the serenity from spirit to do so, and they will help you, is also what I'm hearing, okay? All right, pile 1, if this helped you guys out, I would love to know. Feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe. I do have a really small channel, so seriously, it means a lot to me. All of you guys, I really appreciate you. I only have one form of contact at this time. You can either email me or I have a Facebook group. It's under The Witchy Homestead. I will never reach out to you to solicit services unless I'm just giving them away to you for free or for practice right now, because I have my hands in a lot of different things. But yeah, if you have an established relationship with me, then you know me. You know, sometimes I message you or whatever and check up or give a recap, or, you know, if we're already working on a project together. But if not, I will never just reach out to you and say, hey, beloved, um, do you want to buy a reading from me? I won't do that, but I may offer some people that are loyal followers to me help when I see that it is warranted. Okay, so thank you, pile 1, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Hi, pile 2. Wow, I did get quite a lot for you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and say that if you were drawn to another pile, I highly encourage you going to watch it, because there may be some messages for you in there. um, I'm gonna light my candle, relight my candle. 1 second. Okay, that's better. I really like to have some kind of fire usually when I'm reading. So pile two, the first message I got on my written messages was if you don't start stepping into your rebellious, slightly defiant energy, your shadow is going to act out. I wrote, start being okay with being the bad guy. And then I saw like two rocks, or I guess you could say like one rock, like this, bursting open and light coming through it. And I also wrote the story of the black and white wolf on this deck as well. It's a, I guess you could say like native storytelling story. It's very good. I also wrote sometimes selfish equals selfless. You can't be selfless without being selfish sometimes. That means giving yourself the grace that you give everyone else. And then I wrote, it's time for your bad girl season, liberation. Oh, yeah. And then I saw somebody's higher self like spinning their hair. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever seen somebody that whips their hair in circles like a rocker, but I saw somebody doing that. And then I saw them be like, and if this is for somebody that doesn't have long hair, here you go. And I saw this higher self put on a wig and like use the wig to rock their hair. And then I wrote unhinged, bad bee with a flamethrower. But you can also veg out with video games. So hell yeah, I'm here for that. Let's be friends. And then the flame on my candle got like super weird and bipolar, which you can see now. It's kind of like shrinking down and it would get brighter. So maybe that's a little bit how your energy is lately. Pile two, like maybe you're feeling like sudden bursts of energy and then tired. And then I got two different songs. I got Girl, All the Bad Guys Want. And then I got She Hates Me by Puddle of Mud. I don't know, maybe those lyrics have some significance to what's going on in your life right now, or maybe it will help unleash the part of you that does not give an F. Um, and oh, I also got Another You by Armin van Buuren. So the three songs were She Hates Me, Puddle of Mud, Girl, All the Bad Guys Want, and Another You by Armin van Buuren. Yeah, and I really just feel like there is some star quality energy in you, pile two, that really wants to come out and play. What does our shadow for pile two want to say? Higher selves, spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels. Can you let us know what our shadows of pile two wants to say? Okay. So Knight of Swords, spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels. What is our shadows of pile two repressing at this time? What is shadow? What is shadow? What is pile two repressing in the shadow? Okay, I'm getting a lot of cards here. So how many is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10 of wands. Okay. And then we also had these flip out. and I asked if I should take them, and I heard no. So I'm going to put them at the bottom and keep shuffling here. And if they're meant to come out, they will come out when they're called upon. What does my shadow need me to know for pile 2 right now? What does pile 2 shadow need them to know? Okay, juggling energy, multiple priorities, time management, adaptability, negotiation, balancing decisions, weighing options. Okay, and spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels. What is this pile's shadow deal breaker and or trigger at this time? What is the deal breaker for this pile shadow at this time? What is it that is just going to break the camel's back on pile 2 at this time? Gotcha. Okay, I'm going to read further before I talk about that at all. What does my shadow need to release the pressure for pile 2? What does pile 2's shadow need at this time to release the pressure? Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, can you help us pull a card to know what does pile 2 need at this time to release the pressure on this shadow? Okay. Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, what does my shadow need more of at this time? What does my shadow need more of at this time for pile 2? Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, higher selves, archangels, what does the shadow need more of? Okay. And archangels, spirit guides, ancestors, higher selves, how does pile 2 shadow view them at this time? How does pile 2 shadow view them at this time? Okay. And spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, what is pile 2's shadow's superpower? What is pile 2's shadow's superpower? And I had a couple more that I wrote down here. Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, what will help pile 2's shadow to partner with the light better? What will help pile 2's shadow partner with the light better? And what has been most misunderstood about pile 2's shadow? Wow, pile 2. Okay, so we've got a lot to go over here. So what does your shadow want to say? Your shadow wants to say that you are ambitious, smart, clever, intelligent, witty, yeah, brave, and you defend what you believe in. Pile 2. but your shadow has been repressing a lot of burdens. Oh, I felt I needed to release that. Okay. Yeah, I can really feel it. The expectations, the hard work. Um, you feel that it is the adult thing to do sometimes, to not let yourself go, let yourself lose it, let yourself live, I'm hearing. And your shadow needs you to know that it's weighing its options right now because this is too much and I'm hearing I can't go on like this. And your shadow's deal breaker is, yeah, let me tap into this further. Yeah, I can't get away from gearing up for worst defensive. So you're just like getting ready for the worst all the time. And the deal breaker is going to be someone trying to take a last stand against your shadow and what your shadow wants. Yeah, and what your shadow wants is love, compassion, creativity, spirituality, intuition, maybe even a new child, a new arrangement. I'm hearing like it needs renewal. Yeah, and what does your shadow need more of? The world in reverse, seeking personal closure. There's something here, pile 2. There's a so there's somewhere in your life right now, pile 2, that you're not getting the love, creativity, compassion, excitement that you need. You know, like when you have a new baby or like when you have a new passion project, how you feel about it, like, oh my god, I get to go do this instead of, oh, I have to do this. It's like I get to go and do this for once, you know? That's the deal breaker. Is somebody putting down your creativity, your love, your compassion, even about maybe you're into witchy stuff and you being expressive of what you're compassionate about and excited about. Anybody speaking against that, it's, I'm hearing it's their they're on notice if that happens. And how does your shadow view you now? And this is the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. I was like, theft, I don't understand. And then I was like, nope, I understand. You're stealing your own happiness by continuing to indulge with these energies that aren't inspiring your creativity, your love, your unique flavor. I heard welcome to Funky Town. I don't know what the hell that means. But yeah, that is the issue here, is that they don't want to see your seed grow, and you cannot continue to give give your energy to people that can't love all of you, pile 2. They have to love all of you. And if they don't, screw them. Like, that might sound harsh, but it's not. It's not. And when you decide that it's not, you're gonna freaking win. I'm hearing your mind's gonna be blown. You're gonna be standing at the top of this wheel and you're gonna be in control of how it turns, okay? What is my shadow's superpower? And this was like sudden awareness, choosing happiness, acceptance, retreat, withdraw, checking in for realignment. So actually, I feel like your shadow may be like the parent figure over your inner child, because it has to be. Maybe your parents did not teach you how to love. I'm hearing Lil Wayne, how to love. Maybe your parents fear-mongered. Maybe your parents were pessimistic and said, you know what, you can't do that because of all these stupid reasons, when those were their stupid reasons, not your stupid reasons. They weren't even your excuses. Pile 2, I'm hearing. All these excuses people give you to why you can't be in this energy, be in that exciting energy, it's because of their own shadows. And your shadow has had enough of other people's shadows trying, I'm hearing and seeing them run around in your mind. Yeah, your shadow's gonna pull out the flamethrower. Pile 2. And then we've got what will help my shadow partner with my light better. Greediness. Yeah, like I said, you've got to love all of me or not, you don't get any of me. Be greedy about your standards. Know that you can be stingy, you can overspend, you can self-protect, self-control. Especially when it comes to these things, like these negative things like obstacles, loss, delays, things like that. Like, your superpower is sudden awareness. So even if you're caught in a storm, you're going to suddenly realize where to get an umbrella. Pile 2. That's when you fully stand erect at the top of the wheel, like, yeah, I've got this. But to get there, dude, you've gotta seek some closure. And you have to go where your creativity is widely accepted with open arms. Be your weirdest self, and whoever's left in the room is who you keep. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. And what's been misunderstood about my shadow, exhaustion, giving up, that it's destroyed your confidence, when actually these other people destroyed your freaking confidence. Pile 2, not you. They did. I'm hearing they shat on you and gave you overwhelmed, worn down, self-doubt, failure, lack of confidence. None of that is from your shadow, Pile 2. And that's the biggest misconception. And rain just started pouring down. Your shadow's like, please stop blaming me. All I do is try to protect you from these people who leave you behind this fence, feeling like you put yourself there, when actually we put ourselves here. And it's through our creativity, through our sudden realizations. We're like, oh, actually, that person's just a jerk. And I'm going to be greedy with my energy now. I'm hearing. As you should be, pile 2. As you should be. So let's get some final pieces of advice. Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels of pile 2. Can you give us a couple cards? I'm seeing 3. Okay. 3 cards to let us know what pile 2 needs to heal. And I had 3 fall on the ground. Okay. Dried flower fairy, sweet memories. I feel like, also master number 11, I feel like you have some sweet memories of these people that keeps you possibly thinking, oh, they didn't mean it like that. No, they meant it like that. Or you feel obligated to the relationship with some people because of what's normal in society and or normal to regular everyday people, but this normalcy is keeping you juggling, keeping you insecure. Yeah, and then we've got Sewer Mermaid. Your sensuality is beautiful. It is pile 2. Like I said, love all of me or none of me. Okay? I'm hearing let your freak flag fly. And if they don't like it, tell them to go fly their own flag. Pink Lotus Fairy. I hardly ever get this one. A time for spirit. Yeah, I feel like this is you connecting with your shadow. Because look, it's all dark in the back. And you two lighting it up together. Okay? Maybe also look into the meaning of lotuses. Maybe just get into lotuses. Lotuses also grow through the mud. Yeah, this is your shadow and you lighting up the dark, or your inner child. This is shadow work, pile 2. That's so beautiful. Last thing I'm going to do is pull some stickers so we can end this in a humorous manner. You must be a little bit of a sarcasm person, because I'm sorry, did I roll my eyes too loud? Your shadow is sassy. Can you not? Maybe it's time to let that sassy boundary setting side of you out as well. We're all gonna die. Yeah. Acceptance is one of your superpowers, pile 2. So I feel like that's definitely you. Also, on your sensuality is beautiful, I pulled this one. So there you go. I'm sorry I bit you and pulled your hair and punched you in the face. I feel like your shadow is like honestly brutal and in the best way possible. I tried to love logically, but it didn't make sense. I feel like this is giving us an essence of your personality a little bit. And pile 2, I want to say thank you for sharing that with me, with us. I love this reading, and if it helped you at all, even though it was a little bit complicated and a little bit difficult to read through that energy, because your shadow has just repressed so much and held it all for you, and in a responsible as it could, I'm hearing, in the most responsible way possible for it to do so. Yeah, express gratitude for your shadow, pile 2, okay? Because it is beautiful and it does deserve to be seen, loved, and appreciated. Okay? If this helped you guys out, I'd love to know how. I'd love to hear feedback. And if you like, comment, share, subscribe, any of that stuff, I want to say thank you because I know I have a super small channel, and especially if you've watched this far in, thank you, dude. I really appreciate that. And I can't wait to read for you more in the future. You're definitely welcome to join us on my Facebook group, The Witchy Homestead. I have a profile page and a Facebook group, and also you can email me if you want to reach out directly. I do personal readings. I also offer advice if you have any questions or anything like that. So thank you so much, Pile 2, and I will see you in the future. Pile 3, what is up? So I am gonna timestamp this really quick. So I did want to say that when I was channeling your messages, the energy was very intense. Best for last, right? So the song that I had come in and actually start playing on my radio when I was channeling your message was The Diary of Jane by Breaking Benjamin. And then we had Until the Day I Die by Story of the Year. So your shadow was just very freaking intense. Pile 3. It had me write down, stop expecting your darkness to fit into a box. And then it had a direct quote, well, from your shadow. It wanted me to say it directly as if it's speaking through me. I am too godly to be controlled because my spiritual permit/permission to my anger is justified. You cannot remove the byproduct of the disrespect we have endured without seeing it, feeling it, and giving our feelings the respect to be heard, angry, and expressive. Okay, so that's exactly what it wanted me to say. So you may be wondering, like, why am I still angry? Why am I still sad or feeling resentful towards this person, situation, childhood, any of it? And it is because it hasn't been properly felt yet, expressed, or fully dove into. It's going to require you to go deeper with it, to understand it more. And once you understand why you feel what you feel and why it's there, then you can properly put it away and deal with it. But you can't do that until it is all fully expressed, understood, and heard. And I'm hearing with reverence. Your shadow is in protective mode, and it will not stand for further disrespect, negligence, or feeling inferior. I also wrote, your shadow goes hard for you. I can't stand when we feel angry or irritated and we just think our thoughts. If it's bullshit, say that. So, yeah, if something is the way it is, you need to say that instead of being like, oh, I wish I would have said that or told them about themselves. Do it, Pile 3, because your spirit is going to back you up on that. So let's start pulling cards on the questions I have for your shadow. Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, higher selves, can you please give us a card for what Pile 3 shadow wants to say today? What does Pile 3 shadow want to say today? Okay. I am going to keep pulling each one and then recap at the end because it's just faster with the amount of questions I came prepared with. Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, what is my shadow repressing in pile 3? What is pile 3's shadow repressing? I'm hearing, yeah, you don't feel seen or heard, or at least your shadow doesn't. Yeah, respect. What does my shadow need me to know? What does pile 3's shadow need them to know? Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, and helping spirits at the highest vibration possible for us at this time. What does the shadow need us to know for pile 3? Yeah. Okay. Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, higher selves. What is this shadow's deal breaker? What is this shadow's deal breaker? I'm hearing you have many. My shadow's deal breaker and or trigger of the moment for pile 3, please. What is setting this shadow off? Okay. What does my shadow need to release the pressure? What does pile 3's shadow need to release this pressure? And the wind just blew my notebook open to a blank page. So that could be significant for somebody out there. Starting over, a new page, a blank slate. What does pile 3's shadow need to release the pressure? Higher selves, spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels. What does the shadow need to release the pressure? Okay. What does my shadow need more of? What does pile 3's shadow need more of at this time? What does pile 3's shadow need more of at this time? Angels, archangels, higher selves. Okay. How does pile 3's shadow view them at this time? How does pile 3's shadow view them at this time? Okay. And what is pile 3's shadow's superpower? What is pile 3's shadow's superpower? Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels. What is pile 3's superpower, please? The Hangman in reverse. Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels. What will help pile 3's shadow to partner better with the light? What will help pile 3's shadow partner with the light? Okay. Ancestors, angels, archangels, what has been most misunderstood about pile three's shadow? What has been most misunderstood about pile three's shadow, please? Okay. So, pile three. What I'm getting for you guys, so what does my shadow want to say? It wants to say that it knows you. Like it knows you better than you know yourself. It's been there always and will always be there. And it's better to start looking at it and to it for resources rather than, oh, let me just go over to the shadow trash can and see what I find sitting in there. Stop approaching your shadow like that, because your shadow is very intelligent, very in tune, and very aware of your life circumstances and life choices. And it wants to help you see the truth. Yeah, and what is my shadow repressing? The Emperor. Like your shadow's over here in this boss energy, like, yeah, we know what's up, and they don't listen to us. I'm sorry, pile three. Yeah, your pile has been repressing the leader inside of you because it doesn't want it to be tainted, because you need to understand this side of you more and integrate. I'm hearing you need to integrate with it. You need to stop seeing your shadow as this separate thing when it's not. It's you. And it knows you better than you know yourself. I don't know, it wants to say that again. What does my shadow need me to know? Compassion, comfort, and that it wants to nurture you. It wants to help you heal. It's stable. It's intuitive. It's caring. Yeah, I feel like a lot of you in my pile threes have your divine feminine locked in shackles over here, and that is your shadow currently. Let's see here. And that's your shadow's deal breaker. It's done with the heartbreak. It's done with emotional pain, grief, suffering, sorrow, loss, depression, betrayal, disloyalty, delays, being upset, feeling confused. It's done. It's done with all of that. And I'm hearing one more mean person is all it's going to take for your shadow to just completely snap. What does my shadow need to release the pressure? Courage. You need to show a test of faith by having courage in your decisions. So if you say no, it's a no. If you say we're going this place, this time, this date, then you're going this place, this time, this date. And you're not going to quit on yourself or give yourself false promises. This is what your shadow needs more of. I'm hearing that some of you don't believe you can make the right choices coming from your shadow, and you can. I've done it. You can. You feel like it's going to be a showdown or something like that if you let your shadow run the show, and it's not. I think you're actually pleasantly going to be surprised by setting some boundaries, some rules, some delegation for yourself, and saying, I won't have it this way anymore. And I'm speaking on it because I'm standing up for these softer parts of myself. You know, I'm delegating, standing up and saying what needs to be said and making difficult decisions. And I'm not going to avoid this part of me anymore that has X, Y, and Z to say. Okay, I'm hearing speak your truth for your youth, but also know that it's coming from all sides of you when you do that. I don't know what that means. It's a little cryptic. How does my shadow view me now? Diligent, passionate, hardworking with high standards, and that you're developing your skills, especially if you're here and still listening. First of all, thank you. Third of all, your shadow thinks very highly of you, pile 3, and it's because you're somebody that will take information and decrypt it and figure it out and work with it and work for it and figure out how to use things to your advantage. And that's an amazing skill, pile 3. And what's your shadow's superpower? We got the Hanged Man. So your shadow's superpower is delays, stalling, giving you indecision. You may also have a message in another pile here if you were drawn to any other piles, because I'm getting some tower energy with that, like tapping the brakes on a car and like toop, 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 like tapping the brakes, and then when you're not listening, a full stopping of the brakes. I feel like that is what your shadow has the power to do, whether in your day-to-day life, your emotions, your energy, your vulnerability, your relationships, your money, all of that. If it's not being evaluated properly, they will tap the brakes and help you slow down to look at the view of what you're going around and what you're passing through, pile 3. Gonna move these up just a little bit. Okay, and then we've got what were the last 2 questions. What will help my shadow partner with my light better? I just laughed. The devil, your shadow self. Evaluating where and what you have attachments to, even if it's like communication styles, day-to-day life, things like that. And what's been most misunderstood about your shadow? The world. And I feel like this is about wholeness. Okay? That's what's been most misunderstood about your shadow, is that it's separate from you. But actually, it's a whole big part of you, especially if you're a Capricorn here right now with the Devil card, because I'm not getting bad vibes off of it here. Yeah, I'll tell you that. Also, the horns here on the Devil, horns usually mean wisdom, ancient wisdom. So, I mean, you're fooling yourself by thinking that your shadow can't do anything for you, or doesn't have a specific job, or can't be given a specific job. Your shadow is spirit. It is a spirit. It is your spirit. It can be talked to, summoned, put to work. It can be utilized. It doesn't have to be something that runs you, pile 3. Okay? Let's get some final pieces of advice. Spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, can you please give us a few cards here to help us understand this message a little further and give us advice for how to move forward appropriately on our highest timeline? Let's see how many that was. If it's 3, okay, it's 2. Okay. So again, I don't know if you were in any other piles, but the chances of this coming out kind of slim. But we've got dreams, focus on your dreams, and get out of victim consciousness. That stop acting like you can't make these decisions that are hard, pile 3. That's what I'm hearing. Because you can. It's all about wanting to. And you don't want to put your you don't want to test your shadow, pile 3, because it will keep you still until you get it and you break out of victim consciousness, okay? And that can be a really touchy subject for some people because it's not easy to understand victim consciousness. It's really not. If you've been a victim before, I will tell you that it's very difficult to get out of that and stop reliving your memories, okay? It can keep you in a nostalgic place that keeps you from remembering your power, your respect, your leadership. And it can have you feeling like this. Okay? What further advice do we have for pile 3? Ancestors, angels, archangels. Pay attention to signs. I feel like this is specifically speaking to triggers. So pay attention to your signs and your triggers, okay, pile 3, because I feel like your triggers are directly coming from your shadow, to be like, hey, we will not accept any more of this. And that's what that is. We won't accept not making these difficult decisions because we want to put on the stilettos and shove them up somebody's, as at the same time. So spirit guides, ancestors, angels, archangels, what else? Okay. We've got eclipse mermaid, powerful energy shift. Oh, and the eclipse is coming, so maybe this is going to bring up some strong emotions for you guys, or just motions. It's important to trust that this is all happening for your highest good, pile 3, okay? Even if it's very emotional. You're diligent with high standards, and sometimes you're being slowed down by your shadow so you can properly integrate your powerful energy shifts, okay? And integration isn't just becoming one, like how we said you're one. You're not separate from your shadow. You're one. So that can take time, and you're being given this task to understand your shadow because it is time. It's time for this, pile 3. That's what I'm hearing. An tempting offer has a high price. And I feel like the tempting offer is to pretend that you don't have any hard work to do with your shadow here. Be like, oh, I already understood my traumas and there's nothing I can do about it, yada yada. Actually, that may be the shadow of your shadow, I'm hearing, that doesn't want to do the work and wants to stay comfortable and nostalgic. But sometimes, pile 3, the best thing we can do for ourselves is to push our limits and find our own self autonomy, self-respect, and stability within ourselves when we become complete through integration. Okay? Okay, pile 3, I'm going to pull a few stickers. E is for existential dread. I feel like that's a little bit of the procrastination energy too. Like, ugh, I don't want to touch it. I don't want to talk to my shadow. I don't want to do this. You're going to find your shadow is hella powerful. Pile 3, Witch's Brew. Black magic. You may feel like this is dabbling in something you shouldn't be touching. Just always remember, if you're doing meditations and talking to these spirits, ask, are you here for my highest good? If it is a no, or if it is anything other than an immediate yes, it is a no. And you can easily say, guides, I ask that you remove this energy and bring me the one for my highest good. And it will. It's just a test. It's just a trick, okay? All you have to do is test them, and you should be feeling, hearing, sensing a physical reaction in your body, and or a yes and a little bit of butterflies in your stomach, something like that. You can code your messages to be whatever you want them to be with spirit. A yes feels like this, a no feels like this, and just ask spirit, okay? My imaginary friends think I'm cool. I feel like this is from your shadow being like, first of all, we're cool as heck, and second of all, I want to show you that, and I want to show you that I am your family, is what your shadow is saying, okay? Employee of the month, you're killing it. Keep going, pile 3. You can do this. It may feel scary, it may feel sad, it may not feel fun, but you're going to feel a million times lighter when you look at yourself and find your respect, find your self-autonomy, find your power, your authority, and your protection. Okay? Okay, pile 3. I hope this helps somebody out there, and if it did, let me know. Leave a thumbs up. You can subscribe to my channel. We are a really small channel, so I sincerely appreciate any support that I get, and I can't wait to help you guys out again in the future. If you want to subscribe to my not subscribe. I have a Facebook group, The Witchy Homestead, that I'm very active in, and I also have a page, The Witchy Homestead. And if you're interested in a personal or any questions or anything like that, you can reach out to me directly. I will never reach out to you unless we already have an established relationship and I know you and you know me. Then it's likely that I will be friendly and check up on you if I've arranged that, or follow up with any workings that I've helped you through or anything like that. So I am a real person, but I won't solicit my services randomly to you unless I'm just giving them to you for free, which I do sometimes in some other groups. However, you will always see me on the same page with the same demeanor and the same friendly, funny attitude. So if there's anything else I can do to help you guys, please don't hesitate to let me know. And I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Bye.